Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Conservative Bunker. And boy, this has been an amazing day. It's been an amazing week. I mean, the Kanye West in the White House and all that other stuff. But I want to talk about this video that came out by Millie Weaver from Infowars, which I personally think is a historical moment because I've never seen anything like this before. We're going to roll the clip in a second, but she actually cracked the code of the liberal mind. She literally made the fascists who were protesting anti-fascism, or they were protesting fascism, she actually made them go home. Watch.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Do Black Lives Matter?
Black lives do matter.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter. Can we discuss that?
Fascists, go home. If you want to discuss it, go home.
Hey, Black Lives Matter!
It doesn't have to be a group discussion. You're talking people.
Do Black Lives Matter?
It doesn't have to be a group discussion.
Do Black Lives Matter?
Your president doesn't believe what we do.
Do black opinions matter? Because you guys don't want to hear my opinion.
You came over here. Y'all were on the street.
Maybe we should, fascists go home! 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 Fascists go home!
All right, fascists go home!
Fascists go home!
Louder in the back!
Fascists go home!
All right.
Fascists go home!
Okay.
Fascists go home!
Louder in the back!
Fascists go home!
All right.
Fascists go home! Fascists go home! Fascists go home! Fascists go home!
I hate fascism too.
Fascists go home!
Did you know that?
Fascists go home! Fascists
Did you know I hate fascism?
Yes, I do.
I hate fascism.
I hate fascism too. Fascists.
Did you know I hate
go home.
racism?
I hate racism too. We all hate racism.
Fascists are going home!
Oh my God, they're going home.
Fascists are going home!
Yeah, the fascists are going home. Oh my gosh.
Get out of here, you fascists!
Are the fascists going home? Fascists go home?
Let's go.
Circle!
They're going home. Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
Fascists go home!
Fascists go home. Yeah.
News!
Fascists
Fake news!
go home.
Fake news!
Fascists
Fake
go
news!
home.
Fake news!
Fascists go home.
Fake news!
Fascists go.
Fascists go home. All right, where are you guys going?
Infowars is fake news. Go fuck yourself.
Are you going home?
So let me start by saying that I have seen tons of these videos. I've been watching them for the past 2 years, maybe ever since this whole thing started. And it's a consistent string of almost the same thing. I've seen it over and over again. I already know what their answer is going to be before they even say it, or they're just not going to answer at all. The whole liberal mob tactic, pre-programmed mind, is just to chant these slogans in people's faces. And it's like, one of them is, this is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. What's the really popular one? No Trump, no fascist, no KKK, no fascist USA, ho hum, ho hey, no fascist USA, however it goes. And the other one is fascists go home, fascists go home. And that's what they kept chanting in this video. And Millie went up, and she was with a black kid, a black young sophisticated patriot, which he is, you know what I mean? And he, them both together said, well, we're not a fascist. Are you a fascist? No, I'm not a fascist. We're not fascist, and we don't like fascism. Are you a racist? No, I'm not a racist, and we're not racist. Well, we don't like that either. Like, we agree with you. We're with you on that. So they started chanting in the video, fascists go home at them, and some of them went home, like you saw in the video. But that's what blew my mind is she did it, and she even said that in the video. I think she was joking in jest. She was saying, I think we cracked the code. But in all seriousness, Millie, you did crack the code. I've never seen it. So that's what you have to do. You just be like, well, you stand there. They were very calm. They were very collective. This black young man who was there, I'm sorry if I don't remember his name, but he was calm. He wanted to just have a dialogue. He wanted to explain why he was there, and he wanted to see what you really are protesting, because in my mind, these aren't really even protests at this point. I mean, how can he, and he was armed to the teeth with factual information, okay? So that's where you got to be, and I think that's the way you have to be if you're going to protest something as complex as these political issues. So they came up, and they basically had nothing except the chants and the slogans, because that's what they're pre-programmed, that's what they're taught to say and do, but nothing beyond that. And that's why you see these, if you want to call them protest leaders, they're probably professors of some college or something or other. They walk around and they're the ones who tell you, don't speak to them, don't speak to them. Oh, that's Infowars, they're fake news, don't speak to them, or they're trolls, blah, blah, blah. You see it all the time, right? And I watch Infowars, and people will just be like, oh, I hate Alex Jones, I hate Alex Jones, blah, 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 blah. Well, or Infowars is nothing but a bunch of Alex Jones and conspiracy theories all the time. Well, you have to know at this point that there are other people who work for Infowars. Millie is one of them, and Owen Schroyer is another one, and those are two of my favorites who bust their ass. I mean, look at Millie is pregnant, and she's going into what Owen would call the belly of the beast. She's going directly into these protests, and she's been attacked. She's had urine thrown on her. She's been maced. All these disgusting things that they do to her, and she still goes in there, you know what I mean? It's to get the truth, because this is the real news. That's what's funny. They call Infowars fake news, but it's the most real news that you could possibly watch. How much more realer can you watch the actual reporter, which all of the mainstream media is too chicken shit to do, go right into the protest and just be like, here you go, here's a platform. Why are you here? What are you protesting? And let them speak, and you'd be amazed at what they actually say when you actually give them a profile. And they're not shoving. I don't agree with the right when they go down and they just shove a microphone in someone's face and go, why do you hate Donald Trump? Okay, that's, in my mind, that's probably antagonizing a little bit. That's just kind of trying to provoke a triggered response. So I don't agree with that. I kind of like it when it's more of like a calm-based thing, like slightly offensive, a bit, but mostly maybe probably like Fleckis talks. But Infowars does the exact same thing. They're not there to antagonize anyone. I mean, Alex does, okay? I will admit that. Alex goes right in there, and he's going to get right in your face, and he's probably going to trigger and antagonize people. I mean, look at when he storms right into like Google headquarters, you know? Look at what he did to it wasn't Ted Cruz, it was like Mark Rubio or something. I can't even remember, but you know what I mean? But he triggers a response. You know, look at what he did to the Young Turks when he stormed right in on their stage and started shoving a microphone in the Bill Clinton is a rapist t-shirt and blah, 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 you know, and that caused a huge kerfuffle. So I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about Millie. I'm talking about, like Fleckis talks. You know, it's just like, you know, why are you here? Explain your situation. And usually you don't get much back. So my point is that I've seen tons of those videos, and I know how the outcome is going to be. And I'm sort of just like, okay, this has been going on for like 2 years straight. And this is the only video that I've seen that actually had a different outcome. It was quite amazing. I had to keep watching it. I'm like, I can't believe it. So I think what you can see in it is, well, here, I'll show you this part.
Go home, fascists! No, go home, fascists!
Am I a fascist?
We're not fascists.
We actually support.
We're pushing them back.
Oh my God! Wow, they're running away. This is.
I don't know what they're doing, but I'm super confused.
Fascists go home.
Fascists go home.
Fascists go home. Fascists go home. Fascists go home. Fascists go home. Fascists go home. Fascists go home. Fascists go home. I'm confused. They're going home after we chanted back at them, fascists go home, because we're not fascists, you know. All of a sudden, the ones who go home are the ones who were chanting fascists go home in the first place. The leftist protesters, the anti-Trump protesters, are now the ones that are going home. After we chanted back, fascists go home, they just decided, okay, well, we should go home now. It's really bizarre.
So I think what you can get out of that, or what I got out of it, is maybe some of them finally said in their mind, well, this is stupid, I'm just going to go home, because maybe I don't get it in their mind. Other people might have just been like, well, this is pointless because we're not really protesting, anybody here. So maybe they went home. Who knows what their motives were? Or maybe some people actually got red pilled and were just like, I don't understand really what's going on. This is too weird for me. I'm out of here. You can see them actually put their signs down. But before that, another amazing part was, I don't know where they get these tactics from. Okay, there's probably some kind of left-leaning liberal website out there that teaches you these, protest tactics. It's so stupid. Where all of a sudden, and you can see the hive mind at work, the pre-programmed mind at work, because someone said turn around and they all just turned around. Now it got really bizarre because they were chanting into dead space. There wasn't anything behind them. I think it was just like a big open field or like a park or something. There wasn't anything behind them. So when you're protesting, you think you're going to direct your protest at what it is. So let's say, for example, there's a Trump rally. I think if you're protesting it, you're going to protest directly at that facility, or maybe the Trump supporters that are outside or going in or coming out. You know what they do. Or even if you wanted to go on the opposite side of the spectrum, if you're protesting a Planned Parenthood facility, you're going to direct your protest probably right at the doors. But turning around, they all turned around. It was so bizarre. It was like the Borg from Star Trek. It was one hive mind controlling them all. And they all turned around and they all started chanting into dead space. There wasn't anything behind them. So I think that's probably what made some people give up. They were like, well, this really, like, you have to get to the point of absolute bizarre foolishness beyond the comprehension of the normal human mind to actually realize that your protest is mute. Your protest, it means nothing. You don't even know what you're protesting. So quite amazing. I loved it. I think it's a historical moment right here, and I hope a lot of people watch this, because it really is the absolute bizarreness of it. Even if bizarreness is a word, I don't even know, but to watch them all glitch out like that, and then to actually red pill some and maybe just frustrate others enough into quitting. But they were the fascists. They were the ones using the fascist tactics. And they were like, well, we're not fascists, so we're with you. So fascists go home, fascists go home. And I guess maybe some of them even realized that they were actually acting like fascists, and they went home.